This video, I'm going to show you the best coaching adjustments for defense in college football 26. This is going to help you maximize your effectiveness on the defensive side of the ball. And we're going to be going through these within the context of one of my new favorite defenses in the game, that is nickel 3-3 mint. Now, if you want to get my entire nickel 3-3 mint scheme, it is live in our school community. If you're not a school community member yet, it is only $10 to be a member. It gets you access to all of my Madden and college football offensive and defensive ebooks. So if you want to check that out, that is going to be linked in the description down below. Now, we're talking today about coaching adjustments, and it's one of the most important features in college football 26 because they've added a ton of new features. So the way you're going to bring up your coach adjustments is you are going to click your right joystick in one time, and that is going to bring up this menu, which is your coaching adjustment menu. Now, if you are running a defense like I am out of 3-3 mint, where you're able to get consistent pressure, what you want to do is you want to turn auto flip off if needed. You don't have to do this, but I think it is a helpful way to make sure that you have some semblance of consistency in terms of how players line up. One of the most important adjustments that you can make in college football 26 is taking this defensive motion response and actually disabling it. The reason that this is going to be effective is because this is going to ensure as close to a baseline type of look as you could possibly get in college football 26. The next thing that you want to do is for your option read key, pretty much generally, you're going to want to put this on conservative. This is going to force them to hand the ball off to the running back, and it's never going to allow the quarterback a free lane out on the scramble. For the option pitch key, I like in general to focus on I actually like this to be on aggressive. And the reason why is you were thinking about a speed option. We want to tackle the quarterback. We don't want them to be able to get a free pitch to the running back and then have them run into open space. We want to have this on aggressive because it's going to allow us to essentially tackle the worst ball carrier of the two options. For the RPO read key, this is super important this year, a new thing. Definitely want this to be a conservative. Okay. The reason why you want this to be conservative is, again, it just forces you to have to only be able to shoot it inside zone as opposed to leaving quarterbacks and bubble screens wide open. For the RPO pass key, again, my favorite thing here is to make sure that this is on conservative. This is going to help you 1,000 times over with RPOs in this game. It is going to give up the run, but you can simply shoot the run with your user. But the beauty of this is your defensive players are going to, for the first time ever, actually react to RPOs. This is a super important coaching adjustment in college football 26. From there, strip ball and tackling, these are kind of up to you. You can do whatever you want here. For most people, we see that they leave these on balanced generally. And then zone drops, again, kind of up to you. But the big new feature is the safety depth. And I'm going to show you, I've tested all of the safety depths. These, in my opinion, are the best. And the reason that they're the best is they're going to actually help blitzes come in a little bit better. They're going to help a little bit with seam streaks. And it's also still going to be able to get out wide because of the new coding that they put into deep halves in this game if you're in a cover two defense. So what you're going to do for your safety depth here is you're going to set this to close. You don't want them to set this to tight because if you set them to tight, it's almost too close to the line of scrimmage. You might want to do that in the red zone. But when you're in a standard defense, you want these to be on close. They're going to get about the perfect depth, which is about 8 yards. The problem is you really don't want them deep. You don't want them in prevent because those are just too far backed off. And so really you want them about 8. I wish it was 10, but 8 will be fine. For the safety width, a lot of people are doing a lot of different things, and I don't know that they're really helping them. What I think in general is going to be the best safety width is probably the pinch. If you try to align wide, the problem with that is it's too easy to hit you in the seams. If you try to spread, it's too easy to hit you in the seams. If you pinch it, though, because of the new coding within deep halves really shoot out to the sidelines this year better than they ever have. So you don't necessarily have to worry about that, but by having them pinched, it really eliminates that snap throw seam streak in the middle of the field. Now, this is a new one this year, safety midpoint. This feature is essentially going to identify where is the actual midpoint, the midline that the safeties will then divide themselves based on. What is the divider line? And for this, you could do it based on hash mark, which is not a bad idea. You could do it based off the passing strength hash. Really like that. That's an interesting one. You could go weak. You could go to the field. You could go to the boundary. All of these are decent, but honestly, I pretty much use mid default. The reason I use default is, again, I don't think there's any need to move those safeties out of the middle of the field, at least right now. Now, if you stay to the end of the video, I'm going to show you one other really cool tip that I think is going to help you on the defensive side of the ball. And that tip is, and we're also going to show you how this kind of looks when we get out on the line of scrimmage. That tip is to is to flip your play after you come out in the play, and this will help you with the baseline. Now, you have to have that motion response disabled, but if you come out in your defense and you flip your play, you will actually be able to baseline your defense. So I'll show you kind of how that looks. We're going to flip our play at the play call screen. We're going to come out in Hot Blitz 3, and then we're going to flip it, and you're going to see that they're going to run into a almost baseline type of look for this defense. This allows you to essentially be able to create a symmetrical alignment. And as you can see, we're able to kind of have somewhat of a baseline look in a game with no baseline. So this 3-3 mint is super good. You get some nice pressure. Again, all you have to do is simply flip your play, and then from there, you're able to essentially go about your business. So like this feature, I think this is a huge feature to be able to baseline your defense, or at least have some semblance of a baseline type of look. It's going to really help against some of the auto motion based offenses and things like that. So that is the best coaching adjustments, and really the best way to use the coaching adjustments in College Football 26. If you don't want to baseline, no problem. You can literally just run this defense just like this, and this will be just fine. This is also why I pick a defense that has pretty much everybody blitzing on it as a base, because when they're blitzing, they'll stay in a position, versus when they're not blitzing, they really won't. And as you can see, we're able to generate good pressure. So if you enjoyed this video and this was helpful to you, make sure that you join our school community. If you thought this was helpful, there's a ton of more useful material in our school community where we actually get into the nitty gritty of how you scheme offensively, defensively, give you our full ebooks that can help you win more games. So if you want to sign up for that, that link is going to be down in the description below.